And we're live.
Okay then. Great. All righty. Uh, today, today, Tagg's co-host is going to be making herself known. Anyway, thank you and thank you for coming to our video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a house located at 327 Canyon Ridge Road, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce this town in Alabama. I'm going to spell it Sylacauga, Alabama. Again, 327 Canyon Ridge Road in Sylacauga, Alabama. This is a single family home that is for sale for $76,000 right now. It is a three bedroom, two bath home with 1,622 square feet, so it's pretty decent size. And it's actually got a pretty good sized yard because the lot size is 1.1 acre, which I think is really great. Anyway, uh, I guess I should have introduced myself. My name is Roger. I'm here with my co-host Tagg. She and I started this channel with the intent of helping people that are out there believing that they cannot buy a home for themselves. That if they're willing to put forth some sweat equity and bring creativity to the project, they can build a home of their dreams for themselves. And so, even though the median price average across the U.S. at this time is over 400,000, there are plenty of markets that are less than that. And the houses we look at generally are less than this one is for sale for at 76,000. But enough of me rambling on. Let me hand things off to Tag to introduce this house this morning. And, well, morning for us. We don't know when you're going to be viewing it, of course.
Okay, we're going to take a look at the exterior pictures first. And boy, this is a really healthy lawn. Some of the things that I look for in a home is sun exposure and also water access. Make sure that there is some type of drainage around the property so water can roll off or be absorbed through vegetation. The amount of green indicates a healthy pH balance for your soil. Also, if there's any trees around, um, because it's going to provide shading for your home and the electric, you know. Um, so typically we've lived in some really hot climates, and ooh, that electric bill can almost be the same as your house payment. So, having these trees around just provides some shade um, around the property as well. So, if you do any type of gardening or anything like that, um, it's always an added extra plus to have healthy soil so you're not spending an arm and a leg to get it healthy to plant things. So anyway, moving on, we're on the exterior pictures, but we have this view of a shower. So this is a picture of a shower. Um, it's a very nice shower. Probably needs to be updated, but regardless, we have a picture. So moving on. Oh, what a nice side yard! Boy, this is really clean for 75,000.
I believe it was 76.
76. Okay, but yeah, I'm liking the side of this, the way how this looks. You can pull right on up here and enter the home through the side instead of the front. Um, you got a little picket fence here. That's always nice. It's American vision of the home. And you can always add covered parking out here if you need, uh, if you like your vehicles being covered. I recommend it, but some people don't if there's not a garage. But it looks like there is a carport, so that's a bonus. And back here, it looks like they turned a garage into another dwelling. So That's good. Maybe that can be added income for someone who um, don't mind being a landlord. But this is a nice home for 75,000. I mean, I'm liking the way how it looks on the outside. I really do. You can have a little greenhouse over here. This is nice, or a workbench, or whatever. Um, I like this. I like it a lot. What do you think? Any comments?
I like it too. You know, I'm always a big fan of carport. They come in so handy. Uh, yeah, I guess that's all I want to say. It looks like there's a beginning of a little garden bed going on in the lower left side of this particular photo. So that is right up your alley, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to jump over to the kitchen. And this is nice. It's a little dark for my taste. However, it looks like it's livable while you do improvements around the home. I don't see any like huge issues like a hole in the ceiling or
No.
water damage that screams caution. Um, when you step in the front door, and having a functional kitchen with a functional bathroom is a plus. You can work around everything else.
With
Um,
that being said, or before we drift away here, if you don't mind, um, it does seem like the kitchen could do with some better lighting, and I can't help noticing what looks like a pretty dated looking fluorescent fixture there uh, in the ceiling. So I think that could be as simple as putting a more modern LED fixture in its place, or maybe a couple of them to give you the kind of lighting, that is helpful. I mean, I can see that there's a window over the sink, which is definitely one of the things that I like to see in a kitchen. And just wanted to take a moment to share that before we moved away from the kitchen photo. Your
yeah,
favorite room of the house?
yeah, my favorite room. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so moving over to the bathroom, it looks like we have two photos of the bathroom, and of course, we saw a shower. Here's a vanity. I would definitely redo the bathroom. You have enough room here to have two sinks instead of one.
Seems
Um,
like that one is so close to the wall. Yeah.
yeah, it does. It seemed like it's really close to the wall. I mean, you can put two pedestal sinks here if you didn't want to do a countertop in here, or you can keep it as is, and just paint it,
Hmm.
make it aesthetically pleasing. But so far so good. Um, and here you have a what appears to be a dated tub and shower combo. It doesn't look like it's full of mold and water damage. It just looks like it needs to be upgraded. Um, the house looks livable until you're ready to make those repairs.
Yeah, and if I could comment before we move away from this photo, I can't help noticing you've got a tub of one color, probably a replacement for the original toilet of a second color, and then one of those more modern bowl style sinks that you see in some homes to give you, a third different thing going on in your bathroom. Anyway, just shared. I like to do
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So, what color would you paint this bathroom? Would you want to match it with the sink?
that. Honestly, if it was me, I would be finding a home for that sink with one of my friends that embraces that sort of lifestyle, or not so much lifestyle, but you've got friends that have like the multicolor thing, seeing wearing clothes like that, or their home is decorated that way. I would, renovate it for myself, and then find a home, hopefully that person for the sink.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You know.
But that's me. And you knew it, smarty pants.
Okay.
You set me up on that one. Do
Yeah. All right. So moving over to more photos.
you think this is a concrete floor here, by the way?
I do. I do think this is a concrete floor.
With some French doors going outside? I'm liking
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. If the floors aren't too bad, I would just go with this theme and do some area rugs, you know. I mean, it is Alabama, so having carpet, eh, but
You're, you're implying something about an entire state here. You want to retract that a little bit, reel it back?
well, I'm saying, it's going to be more
No, yeah.
heat
Yeah.
instead of.
Warm and humid. I honestly didn't realize that's where you're referring to the weather.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, all right. I need to shut up so you can.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, you're going to deal with, concrete floor is going to keep the room is going to keep the house cooler, of course, because it's concrete and it's shaded. So yeah, it's going to be cold. Now, what it does to the body, that's a whole different story. I mean, over time, that concrete will break your body down, affecting the feet, the ankles, the knees, the lower back, and it just works its way up to the spine. So, having some aerial rugs down to soften the blow of the concrete, that's something that I would do. But if it's finished, I would just go with it, because flooring can be expensive and prices are going up for materials every second. So it's not something that I would address immediately moving in. However, a coat of paint is cheaper than flooring. So yeah, I would change the inside decor. But I love the fact that this has French doors. It just makes it a little bit more homey
Brings
and
more light in. It's
a
very
little
nice.
more light. Exactly. Now that you have some nice hardwood here on the next photo, which looks to be a formal dining room. I, go ahead and upgrade this with a nice coat of paint and stuff like that. But it doesn't, it doesn't look. It looks like this home has been well preserved. It's been taken care of. So tackling these home projects would be doable over a period of time. So
Mhm.
you can form a budget if you don't have one moving in already. Um, but if you do have a renovation budget set aside and you know how much you want to spend, I mean, the show is yours. So, uh, yeah, do it. But
Mhm.
some of the first things that I see that I would replace would be the fixtures, the light fixtures, because LED is much cheaper on the long run for lighting.
Before
Uh,
you go away from this photo, I actually wanted to point out something that I didn't really see before, and that is just simply that this room's got a vaulted ceiling. So the others don't seem to have that going on. Anyway, I think it's a nice look. Don't
mhm.
want to take away anything it said, or just wanted to add that comment to it so we can keep going.
Yeah,
Back, back to you.
yeah. So one of the things you want to be conscious about a vaulted ceiling is that it does tend to get hot up here towards the ceiling. So when it comes to your utility bill, it's uh, the wattage is determined by the cubic feet, not so much the square feet. So just a word of advice: having like some shears up or plantation shutters or window coverings would be a good idea. to kind of shelter some of the, or just even break up the natural light that you have coming in. So this uh, asymmetric vaulted ceiling wouldn't be so much of a hit on your electric bill. Just saying, you know.
Yeah, just for the hottest time of the day to do that. It's
Right.
smart. Good
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah. So this is a nice size bedroom or den. You're just sleeping in there. So I don't, I don't, having an enormous bedroom isn't very appealing to me. Um,
It looks like you see the door on the very edge of the left of the photo, so I don't think it's really very wide of a room, maybe deep, but it
yeah.
is a corner room because you've got windows on two of the walls.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm liking it.
Yeah.
Not
I
my
like,
not my choice of wallpaper, but
yeah.
the whatever you call it at the top.
Hmm.
But that being said, those are obviously things that you can make your own as
Yeah.
you get settled into the house and get the things get around to doing the things that you want to do with your
Yeah.
new home.
Yeah. So we have a street view here. Let's take a peek at the neighbors, see what's going on in the neighborhood. Well, this is nice. It sits back off the street. I didn't notice that bay window before. I wonder where that's located at. Maybe it's off of the kitchen or something. I don't know for sure. But it's a nice size yard. Nice looking home, 75,000. Doesn't look like
Yeah,
it needs a lot of major repairs to it. So,
yeah,
um,
76,000, and it's a 1 acre lot, so it looks like they've got it set back pretty good from the street.
yeah, yeah. And you have some privacy from your neighbors. You're just not piled on top of each other. Got
Yeah,
some nice greenery going on. So it does look like it's off of a major road. But the good thing about it is that this driveway is nice and long, where you can,
um,
uh,
yeah,
yeah, turn your car around and not have to back onto a major road that has a curve in both directions. You can see what's coming
it
on
does
both.
kind of look like there's a curve on both ends of the street um, that
Yeah.
that you're on. That's kind of neat.
Here's a curve here, and then here's curve here. So got some blind spots. Not a high traffic area, so your kids can actually play outside, um, if you have kids or grandkids or whatever.
Yeah,
So I'm going to jump over here to maps, and oh, look at that. Yeah, off of a major highway. That's good. And it looks as though your closest neighbor is across the street from you and down the street.
yeah. So you ready for me to talk now?
Yeah, I
The
think I.
the last uh, the last few comments that I make in our videos. Um, I want to take a moment and thank everybody for being here. Watch our video. Tag and I started this actually um, not that long ago. We had the idea in our head that the average median price for a home these days is simply you read and see where people are saying that they'll never be able to buy a home the prices the way they are now, and we simply don't agree that it'll be hard to buy a home that you can simply move into without doing anything. But if you do actually have willingness to do some work, put in some sweat equity, be creative about changing things that need or can be improved by changing, then you can make a home of your own. You can own your own home in 2025, where this is actually a problem for people to do at this time. Anyway, kind of getting bogged down there, but my point is we hope that our video, where Tag gives her opinion on things. I give mine on some of the things that I notice, and hopefully between the two often wildly different viewpoints that we have, you find something that's helpful for you in buying this home or any home that you settle on. And we do talk about different things in our different videos. We have a smallish, um, looking for the word, but I guess library. We've created a little over 50 videos at this point. So there's several to look at and see if that some of the things we have to say on different ones you find helpful. Anyway, we wish you the best of luck in your home journey, and we thank you for being here. And I'll hand things off to Tag to wrap us up.
Yes, so that pretty much wraps up our video for the day. And your dream home might be a project away. So, whether if you're into fixer uppers or homegrown gardens, this channel is your go to for real freedom through affordable living and homesteading. And if you have a property you like to share, we're more than happy to help you get the word out. After all, it's about people helping people. And we will catch you next video.